These are some of my unpopular opinions when it comes to clearing acne with diet. These are mistakes that you obviously aren't doing consciously and that you're probably not gonna find in the mainstream Googles. So we're gonna get into it in this video. Let's go. What's up everyone? Welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here on my channel, hi, my name is Kat. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and in this channel, I help you clear acne naturally, holistically, so from the inside out. What inspired me to make this video is because I was getting a lot of comments on, Kat, I've changed my diet. I don't eat dairy anymore. I'm not eating refined sugar. Why is my skin not getting better? I'm gonna try to answer that question for you today and see if we can make some shifts in your diet that will ultimately make a big difference, because that's what we want, all right? We don't want to keep struggling with this. So if you're dealing with something like this now, trust me, it does get better, and these tips will hopefully help you even more. So let's get into it. The first diet mistake is not eating breakfast every day, okay? So you're probably skipping breakfast, or you're not eating within 2 hours of waking up. This is not good, because when you eat breakfast, you are balancing your stress hormones, your cortisol levels, which are at its highest in the morning. So if you are somebody that deals with a lot of stress and you don't feel like you manage it the right way, or you find that balance in managing it, then you definitely want to make sure that you're eating breakfast. This will just stabilize your moods, stabilize your blood sugar, your stress levels. This is especially true if you're someone that deals with hormonal acne, okay? So chin acne as well, acne around this area. If you look at your blood sugar, it really starts to balance itself out with meals. It doesn't go too high, it doesn't go too low. It really stays like in that place that you want it to stay. When your blood sugar goes really high, what ends up happening also is that you may also be producing higher androgens. I'm sure you've heard about androgens, all right? You've come across that word. It's the male hormone. Women have it as well. But one thing that androgens do in your body is that they make you produce more oil, okay? More oil can really clog pores and can really cause breakouts. Women with PCOS often see high androgen levels, and it really goes back to your blood sugar. That's why it's so important to eat breakfast, because you really want to make sure that you balance that out as much as possible. Diet mistake number 2 is that you are skipping meals, all right? You're going for long periods at a time without eating. So just to piggyback off breakfast, you kind of get an idea of where I'm going here. I know that intermittent fasting is huge, right? And a lot of people see results from it. But if you're somebody that's dealing with a hormonal imbalance, okay, or if you're someone that has a lot of fatigue, or maybe you're very stressed, you don't want to be skipping meals, especially if you're a woman and you're in your menstruating years. Your body requires so much energy, and we get our energy from food. That's why it's so important to make sure that you are eating enough and you're not skipping meals. The reason why this matters is because let's say you go 5 to 7 hours without eating, right? I used to do this all the time. So when you don't eat, your blood sugar starts dropping. Remember what I said about keeping your blood sugar balance and keeping your stress hormone balance? When you skip a meal, your body thinks that it's in danger. So what ends up happening is that it will raise your stress hormones to help you keep going. That's why it's important to make sure that you're eating 3 good meals a day and some snacks in between. This is going to be so important for your hormonal acne, for your hormone health, especially during that time of the month when women tend to break out a lot. Number 3 in diet mistakes, and this is definitely an unpopular opinion, I don't care, I'm gonna say it anyway, and that is too much restriction in your diet, okay? So in my earlier videos, if you've been following me for a long time here on my channel, you know that in my earlier videos, I would always say that I am staying away from dairy, I'm staying away from gluten, processed sugar, processed foods, anything that you really could imagine that I heard that it may cause acne. Although I still follow it to an extent, I am more lenient on myself now. I still eat rather healthy. You know, I still want to make sure that I know what I'm eating, and I always check the ingredients and things like that. But I am so much more laid back, you guys. When it comes to this, I just found myself getting more stressed out about what I was gonna eat, and I noticed that it just wasn't doing my body, it wasn't doing my skin any good. It was just giving me a lot of anxiety. And I've never shared this before on my channel, but when I was younger, I had an eating disorder, and it was pretty bad. And I found myself getting triggered again, and my anxiety levels would go up because I would be so worried about what I could eat and what I shouldn't be eating. If this is something that you feel like you've been doing because you've heard me or other people out there say that you need to cut all these things out, you can definitely try it out, but don't be so restrictive. It's always best to eat instead of not eating. Like I said, no skipping meals. And if you have to eat something that you may not necessarily eat other times because there's nothing around, then do it, eat it. So my suggestion would be is to eat intuitively, okay? Pay attention to the foods that may be causing you a lot of discomfort in your gut, some indigestion maybe, some bloating, maybe you notice some breakouts a few days after you ate that food. I definitely recommend intuitive eating these days as opposed to just cutting everything out. I don't find that that works, and it causes more stress on your body and on your mind, and then that will ultimately reflect on your skin. So enjoy the food. Diet mistake number 4 is that you are not eating a macronutrient balanced meal, okay? So your macronutrients are your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats. These 3 are definitely important every single time you eat. You want to make sure that you include some fat, some protein, and definitely some carbohydrates. The reason why it's important is because they all specifically have a purpose in your body, especially when it comes to your hormones. So let's say that if you are just eating pasta, right? Straight up pasta, no protein in there, maybe just a little bit of fat. What can happen after you eat that carb heavy meal is that it can really spike your blood sugar really fast. Remember what we said about keeping that balance? On the other hand, let's say that you are eating the pasta with a little bit of chicken, maybe you douse some olive oil in there. This will end up buffering out those carbohydrates so that it's not spiking your blood sugar really high. Kind of balance itself out. That's exactly the theme of this video. That's exactly what we want. A good measure, and I don't always stick to this, but a good measure would be 30% fat, 25% protein, and 45% carbohydrates. You don't want to stop eating carbs, okay? That's another unpopular opinion of mine. People will tell you in the acne community to go on a low carb diet because that will help your blood sugar and help it stay really low so that you don't end up having those breakouts. I don't think that is right. Our bodies really depend on carbs to function. That is our main preferred source of energy. So you don't want to cut anything out. The 5th diet mistake, and this is something I see a lot, is that you are not getting enough fiber in your diet, okay? This is probably one of the best tips I can give you today. And an unpopular opinion that I'm going to say is that you may want to start including more beans in your diet. People want to say that beans are bad for your gut, they're bad for your hormones. I don't think so. I think beans are really good. They're really beneficial. You just want to make sure that you eat them well cooked. You don't want to eat them straight out the can and kind of like raw, because then that will cause a lot of indigestion. Beans are so good for you because they really help push all of those excess hormones out of your digestive tract so that it doesn't get reabsorbed into your body and ends up on your skin during that time of the month, during stressful times, during maybe times where you're eating too much sugar. Your body's gonna handle these hormone levels and hormone spikes so much better when you have fiber in your diet. Another thing you can include is a raw carrot salad every single day. I made a video on this. I'm gonna link it down below. So you just want to make sure that you start slow. Don't start too fast. Don't just go crazy and start introducing all this fiber into your diet. Start slow, and then also up your water intake, because whenever you start including more fiber in your diet, you want to make sure you drink more water. So the amount of fiber that you should be getting daily is 25 grams for women and 30 grams for men. I speak so much more about this in my free ebook, The Ultimate Guide to Preventing Acne and Clearing Your Skin. I'm gonna leave that down below so you can get your free copy. Also, if you want to learn more information here on YouTube, I'm gonna leave this playlist here that speaks so much more about food and how you can clear your skin with diet. Thank you so much for watching today. If you made it to the end, shout outs to you. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.